Hello, boys and girls. I'm back with another video series on Ruth in the Green Book. So this is for questions 7 and 8. Last video talked about uh, just some background about the story, that it's historical fiction. It's a story that takes place in a real time period, 1950s in America. So these two questions, are real thinking questions. You're not going to find the answers in the book, but it's a good opportunity for you to research and find out more. Um, the SO station attendant says a postman named Victor H. Green started the Green Book, which is true. How do you think he knew which businesses would serve African Americans? Now, the clue is that he was a postman. If you don't know what a postman is, it's somebody who delivers the mail. Now, if you research Victor H. Green, you'll find some articles about him, and he wrote this book based off his experiences as a mail carrier in Harlem. And one of the things that I found out is that he experienced and lived during a time when you businesses didn't serve African Americans, especially as you traveled south, like south towards like Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Texas. So for African Americans that traveled, this book helped them avoid dangers and helped them avoid going to places that would not serve them or even cause harm to African American families. So how did he know? If he's a postman and he's delivering mail, he's getting experience working with businesses, hotels, and the like. So he had experience from that, and he also had experience from other mail carriers and other postmen who had done many travels. So if you notice, answer is not in the text. It is mentioned in the text that an SO attendant mentioned that. So let's go to this page. This will be on page 9. And it says here, if I could just move this over. I spotted an SO station near the Georgia border and sang out for Daddy to stop. Daddy filled the car up and asked the man if he knew where he could sleep for the night. The man showed us a pamphlet called the Negro Motorist Green Book. He explained this book was started by a postman, Mr. Victor H. Green, to help black people who were traveling. It lists places in lots of states where we would be welcome to sleep, eat, shop, get a haircut, and all kinds of other information besides. Right away, Daddy bought our very own copy for 75 cents. So that's in the text, but it doesn't answer the question. So I would do a little more research on Victor H. Green on your own, and you can listen to this video for some ideas. But there's definitely a response you can type there based on what I just told you and finding your own research. What do you know about, number 8, what do you know about Jim Crow laws? We talked about that in the other video. So Jim Crow wasn't an actual person, but they were a set of laws to segregate black people from white people. It created a separate society, almost like if you were in a town in the South, there would be places for black people to go to the bathroom, black water fountains. Black people had to ride on the back of the bus. They had to give up a seat for a white person if there weren't any seats available. They separate schools. If you were a black child, you went to all black schools. If you were a white child, you went to all white schools. So Jim Crow laws, primarily in the South, kept things separate until laws were created to stop that. You can research more about Jim Crow laws on your own. Do a Google search. And why didn't Ruth know about them before this trip? Well, she was a young girl. She lived in Chicago. If you watch the story and listen to the story again, she hadn't traveled to the South like this before. And in Chicago, like I said, in the North, Jim Crow laws did not exist at the same level as they did in the South. Now, I'm not saying that there wasn't segregation and there wasn't racism in the North. There were, but not at the same way and the same level that it was in the South. So do some research when you answer these questions. Please write incomplete sentences. Listen to the read alouds and the text for support. For these questions, you need to do a little thinking, a little research. It's really asking you to think beyond the text. Okay, till next time. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.